we started. Hi, Bob. Hi, Bob. Do you miss Chogi?
Oh, not my hand like this. Not that. I don't think about Chogi very often, to be honest. Every once in a while, Chogi will cross my mind. Everyone listening, I would like to give some context. Chogi was the cashier at my bodega. At 945 Amsterdam Avenue at 106 in Amsterdam when I lived there for a couple of years, and he called me Pob, and we had an interesting, like a fun banter relationship. He really seemed to enjoy it. I think it was because I used to come in such like ridiculous, outlandish outfits, and he was just so like.
Because he's like, what the fuck? Even though he live in New York City, to have the person that you see every day, pretty much every day, you saw Chogi every day of your life.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
To see him in, like, one time you're a fucking witch, one time you're half your face is black, half your face is white, one time you're a robot. He's like, what is going on?
Well, he didn't see. It wasn't like that. Chogi was like, what?
I know it wasn't like that, but I think internally he was like, this is crazy.
I think Chogi was just like, this guy's a drag queen and he does his thing. I mean, maybe in the beginning, but I think I told him, I said, I just dress up. I go to work in different costumes, and he was kind of like, oh, he was excited to see me. And he was really lovely, and he was from Egypt, and he had a daughter. I found out later on.
Did Chogi ever ask you for advice?
No, Chogi and I did not have that kind of relationship. How about your rapping cleaning lady back in the
my God,
Bronx?
what was her name?
I don't remember. But Monét had a cleaning lady.
I remember
who was also a rapper, and
no, that's
Juliana.
Now, I remember I told you
and offered Monét a mixtape or something.
I told you her name one time, and you were like, you used to call me that all the time,
and I forgot it.
Damn,
it was like Amanda,
Mistress. No,
she had like a rap name.
Yeah,
it
was like Mistress something. Yeah, she was really cool. She had a kid, and so she was great. She never asked me for. I mean, she did ask me for advice with TV film stuff actually, because the last time she cleaned for me, she was like getting this opportunity to do this show on VH1, some type of rap show, and she was like how you handle like business stuff. I was like, well,
her name was Belle Khalees.
And
her name was Belle Khalees Almasar, wasn't it?
And anyway, and she was asking me like, how would like you handle like business stuff, because I was on Drag Race at this time, and I was like, oh, you need to like get yourself a manager. She's like, yeah, I had this manager who like tried to like fuck me off, and he tried to like you know, she was like going through the woes of the biz and trying to like.
Did you listen to her mixtape?
I did not listen to it. Miss Diamond? No, it wasn't Miss Diamond. But
I just remember thinking it was interesting that Monét's clean lady was like this rap diva.
Everybody in New York trying to make it, girl.
Everybody. Honestly, most people you see in New York is probably an artist.
Yeah,
especially if they work like, you know.
I feel more so in LA. I feel like everyone in LA is an artist. It's either it's some type of artist, like film, TV.
That's just because the circles we run in.
Maybe
if you step outside of a circle, it's probably like, I don't know an artist.
But LA is Tinseltown. A lot of people are involved in TV film.
Why do they call it Tinseltown?
I don't know. Jacob, why do they call LA Tinseltown? Maybe because it sparkles. There's this Betty Davis quote, and it's a famous one. And someone asked her on an interview, she's like, what is the fastest way to get to Hollywood? She said, the 101. You
ever heard when they go, how do you get to? Oh, the tourist question. They go, how do you get? When the tourist asks you, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? And then they just go, you just practice.
Because tinsel is like shiny and bright, but also like kind of fake and kind of.
Oh, so you a fake ass nigga if you live in Hollywood? I don't live in Hollywood. You live in Hollywood. You a fake ass nigga?
Okay, I used to work at Jekyll and Hyde. I would do that Carnegie Hall joke a lot because we worked right around the corner from Carnegie Hall. I was like a block away. I would love to say practice, and I think I told you already my camera bit that I would do. We would come in and be like, oh my God, has anyone seen I left my camera here. It's silver. It's in a black case. And I go, wait, it's silver and it's a black case? They go, yes. And I go, no, I haven't seen that.
Oh my God, that's so rude.
And they go, it was in that booth. I go, oh, in that booth? They go, yes. I go, no.
Wow, that's not funny.
To be honest, I thought it was pretty funny.
These people, like, they come to New York. They're probably some bitch from like some fucking Ohio that's never been to New York. All her pictures from all the sites and stuff are on this camera. You getting their hopes up in that 1 minute. That is sick. You are sick.
Glad I didn't do the Jada Smith. I would have got
Jada Smith.
I would have got Hancocked.
So we're giving advice today. Are you ready to get some advice? There was an episode recently. They're like, Monét, your advice was wild. I was like,
I was telling you in the moment that it was wild,
and you still don't think it was wild,
and you were not listening to me.
I still think it was wild.
But then also the woman who
she said
she confirmed later because she's a patron And she was like, "That's not what I was saying."
Okay, but bitch, again, we are assuming. And also the advice I offer, I was like, this is it's something going on for 10 years. This is, you need like therapeutic advice, and it's beyond the realm of what we can offer you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
10 years is a long time to go through something.
I don't think we need to get back into it, but what I was saying was, I think that you sometimes jump into some really odd possibilities. I wouldn't call them conclusions, but like you will give advice from a very strange standpoint.
When I see someone has something that has been irking them for a long time, I'm assuming they have gone through all the reasonable things and all the rational things. So I want to offer the irrational.
Well, the lady confirmed that was not what she wanted, and she thought it was
good for her. And I hope she found the help that she deserved.
Also, I want to say we should do an official disclaimer, but listen, any advice that Monét Exchange and I give here on this podcast, this is strictly for entertainment purposes only. This is not actual advice that you should be taking. We were very grateful. So, you know what people keep saying online? People being like, but I've seen it a few times. People like, it's so cringy that people actually submit advice. Why saw that. Why is that cringy?
I know. I don't get that either. I've seen that a couple of times too.
That's weird. That seems like a weird response to me. It's so cringy that people actually ask for advice.
I think these are people who, for whatever reason, they have some awkwardness about seeking advice in a public forum. That may seem odd to people.
Maybe they just embarrass easily.
Yeah, and like getting advice out loud in a public forum seems like really cringe and really weird for them, and that's valid. But I mean, don't shame other people for getting advice in a public way.
Yeah, that was a weird response. All right, let's listen to our first caller.
Okay, I'm gonna click the first one.
Okay, bitch.
Why I gotta be a bitch though?
Oh my god, this fucking computer. I want to fucking.
We're gonna be here till sundown.
Hi, Bob and Monét. Love you guys. So I have a question. So I am Black, and in the Black community, family reunions are huge for us. Like, everybody's going to be there, and it's just something that you just do not miss in our community. And I just recently moved to New York City less than a year ago, and our family reunion this year happens to fall on New York City Pride weekend. And so I'm trying to figure out how to tell my family that I'm not going to be at the family reunion, but that I want to go to Pride instead. It's going to be my first one in New York City with my boyfriend, and I really want to stay here. But I'm not sure how to approach that situation. And a lot of my family doesn't even know that I'm out. I don't know if I should just lie, make up an excuse. What should I do?
Well, I mean, there's a lot to unpack here. I mean, one of my questions, like, I don't know why you're not out to your family. I don't know if you just haven't come out. I don't know if you think you can't come out to your family. This is not a situation I've ever found myself in. I have found myself in scenarios where my family wants me to come do something, but I can't come because of work, or sometimes I just don't feel like coming, quite frankly. But that being said, I'm also not someone who visits my family that frequently. Like, people who are home like 5, 6, 7 times a week, that is wild to me.
Yeah,
I go home for 3 days at a time. Never more than 3 days at a time, and then I leave, and I do that like a couple of times a year.
That's crazy to me too.
And I guess that's kind of how I was raised. Like, when I was a kid, I went to Mississippi once in the summer. I did go every summer. That was because when your parents still have jobs, they can't. When you have a single mom who can't afford daycare, you can't just keep your kids all summer long. You know what I mean? So we go spend each summer. But I never grew up one of those folks like going to visit family a whole lot. That's never been part of my experience as an adult or as a kid. But it seems like your family is quite used to that. And honestly, you're an adult. You are an adult. Like, you can just say, guys, I want to spend time with my friends, and I'll see you next time. I'll see you at the next gathering.
Yeah, I would say that too. I was like, if you're not out, you don't want to come out to them in this way, I would just say, hey, Mom, there's like some stuff going on with my friends around this time, and I can't go home. Like, how? Yeah, bitch, once you leave home, like, bitch, you have your life to live, and you don't... Going to Pride is more important to you. You want to do your first Pride in New York City. New York City Pride is fucking great.
So great.
It is such a good time. So yeah, like, and you have your boyfriend for the first time. I think that feels more important to you. Like, mom, my friends and I are doing something this weekend. I'm doing a friend thing. I love you guys. I'll come see you in August, whatever.
Maybe you can come after Pride. Maybe you can come after Pride and just see, the family.
The family reunion is the thing, though. That's like,
I would say you just see the family who's still in town. Like, I know my family reunion is in Mississippi, which is where my family lives. And if I go the week after, I won't see everyone, but I'll still see the family that lives in Mississippi.
Yeah. So just be like, you want to do this thing, and hopefully your relationship with your boyfriend will last, and then maybe you'll come out to your mama this year, you bring your boyfriend to the family. Who knows what the possibilities are? But this year, going to fucking Pride in New York City is going to be the Kikiana. Who's headlining it? Did they announce a headliner this year?
I don't know if they announced it already. It's pretty early.
Yeah, it's pretty early. But New York City Pride is great, and you want to celebrate this with your boyfriend, doing the fucking parade.
Have you actually seen the headliner at Pride?
I've never seen the headliner at Pride.
It's too much.
It's honestly, it's like 10,000 people.
Going to the headliner at Pride is like going to Times Square to see the ball drop.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
I
would never
it's a lot of
in
people.
a million. I would honestly, I would personally just rather go to a gay bar and see a queen I like.
Except there's something though, like New York City Pride. It's fucking Kylie, but you take a Molly and she's just like fucking Kylieing, and you're like in Pride to Euphoria. I would kind of love that.
I don't think I would ever take a Molly or go to a Kylie Minogue concert.
Oh.
I would go to a Kylie Minogue concert, but I wouldn't like seek one out. Like if tickets presented themselves, I go to a Kylie Minogue concert.
Yeah. So yeah, I think just say you're doing something with your friends around that time, and be nondescript and live your life, bitch. Family gonna be around for decades to come. You always go to the family reunion.
Well, everyone might not be around for decades to come.
Well, not everyone, but everyone who's important will be. Next question.
Monét is
wild. I'm kidding.
Hey Bob, hey Monét, love you
not
both.
related to Will Smith.
So I'm Eamon and I'm calling from Brooklyn, and I want some advice about what to do when you don't really like your boyfriend's best friend and roommate. For some context, she's got a lot of stuff going on in her life. She's not a bad person, but just a lot of mental health, a lot of real life stuff, and has had some meltdowns where she lashes out and says some really wild shit to me, to him, to others. And there are some things I feel like just can't be unsaid, to the point where I don't know how close I want to be with her. And I kind of want to just keep her at a healthy distance. Ideally, I would just never speak to her again, but I can't because they're besties and I love him. So I just want some advice on how to make things comfortable for her and me, because, it's her home. I want her to feel comfortable, while also maintaining some of my own boundaries, maybe.
The boyfriend lives with her.
And my boyfriend sort of gets both sides. I mean, he sides with me, but he wants us to, figure it out on our own. So he's kind of taken a step back, which I'm not crazy about, but I get it because it must be hard to be in that situation. But yeah, so any advice you have on how to deal with the situation would be great. I know I'm kind of stuck and that it's probably, a hard situation to, oh my God, this edible's hitting too hard. Anyway, advice would be great. Thank you. All right.
What in the Monét exchange?
Boundaries. Listen, I've said this on the podcast before. I'm a very big proponent of you do not have to be friends with your partners, all your partner's friends. And especially this is a relationship that you want to keep distance from. You are a grown-ass man, and this is something that will make you feel good. And this is something that will that you want to enact. So I was like, you make boundaries. You don't have to be rude and nasty to her, and when you see her in a room, ignore her. But you can be cordial. You can be cordial and be like, "Hey, Maria, great. How are you? Good, cool." And then just move on. So you think the boyfriend and the best friend live together, and the boyfriend lives away?
Well, it wasn't clear. I can't tell if they all live together, but I know it seems like he said my boyfriend's best friend / roommate.
Right.
So it sounds like.
But is he saying that he's a roommate of all of them?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. So I mean, if you do live with her, that may be a little trickier because you probably have to interact when you're like trying to share spaces and stuff like that. But if they don't, that's even more reason that you don't have to interact with them more than you want to. And and your boyfriend is aware of it. So it's not like your boyfriend doesn't know and there's this like shady vibe. Your boyfriend knows that you want to distance yourself from her. And your boyfriend should know that this is something that you need for your mental health, for you to feel better about yourself, for you to feel better about that relationship with her. It's interacting with her less and keeping her at arm's length. And I think that's fine. You're a grown-ass man, and just handle it that way. Be cordial. Just like you would a coworker that you don't vibe with, a coworker that gets on your nerves. You start to work with them because you guys both work at the fucking Chick-fil-A together. Oh God, not Chick-fil-A. You guys both work at the Office Max.
I work at the Chick-fil-A.
I know. You guys both work at the Office Max together. So you have to be cordial, but you don't have to interact and be friends and kiki and get lunch together. You can be cordial and just leave it at that.
There's a guy at my Chick-fil-A that used to remind me of Clay Aiken. He was like an exact like replica of. He looked like Clay Aiken. He talked like Clay Aiken. He had that weird, like specific gay Southern accent, but he said he wasn't gay though.
Do you think he was?
Yeah, for sure. And I remember one day he came. Not trigger warning. Gross warning. Gross poop warning here. He came out of the bathroom. He was the manager. He was a very young man. He was maybe like 22 or something. And he came out. He was like, someone shit in the urinal. And we were all like, ew. And he was like, well, someone's got to clean it up. And we're all like, we're not getting shit out of the urinal. And he was like trying to pick us to do it. And also, this is a Chick-fil-A. Like, everyone who worked there was black, like except him. So it was me, him, some other people, another manager, this black woman who was a manager, and then him. And he was like, he looked at me like, I need you to take the shit out of the urinal. And I said, I'm absolutely not doing that. And I looked at him and I said, you get paid more than anybody here. I was 19. I said, you get paid more than anybody up in this piece. This really sounds like a you job. He cleaned the shit out of the urinal.
Work.
He sure did. Anyway, I think it is a little more complicated than a work scenario because this is your home. Like the way you want to be relaxed at home is
different. Live there.
If you live together. I'm gonna give advice both ways, I guess. Because you want to be comfortable in your home if you live with this person. But I also have friends like Nick who there are people who live in these scenarios or these houses in New York City where they have like roommates that they basically never talk to.
Yeah.
Like people, they're like, we are just financially helping each other afford to live in a decent place. We do not speak to each other. We're not buddies. We're not friends. We just respect each other's cordial space.
In college, that was me. I had roommates, but I ain't never talked to them.
And, dealing with someone who has mental health issues, if you have a friend or a family member who has mental health issues, they do kind of become your issues too. Because like you are dealing with the issues, you're dealing with them while they deal with the issues. You're not dealing with it to the same degree. But if you have a loved one or a person in your life who has some mental health issues, it does affect the people around them. And I don't think it's shady to be like, I don't want to deal with that. It seemed like you just meant that she has some issues. It's not shady to be like, because maybe you're not in a space to deal with it. Maybe you're struggling with your own stuff and you're like, I can't deal with my stuff and your stuff. I don't have the bandwidth to do that. I think that boundaries are really important to set. It is a really fierce form of communication, setting boundaries with people, and making sure that everyone respects them. So I'm very much team, get your boundaries respected no matter what. And I will give you this advice though. You don't want to get between your friend and their partner because you don't want to get between your partner and their best friend. You don't want to get between your friend and their partner. You don't get between someone and someone they love. Like I don't do that. I do not get involved. I've had friends. Alfredo used to date this guy that I didn't like. Alfredo used to date this guy that I could not stand. You know him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I did not like that guy. He was just wild and just like not good for Alfredo. But I didn't tell him. I just limited my interactions. I just didn't really hang around him very often. If Alfredo said that he was with him, I'd just be like, well, I'm not gonna invite you over tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
All right, let's do our next one. Por favor. Merci.
Hi, Bob and Monét. My name is Yanni. I am a cis gay man. I am 22 years old and I live in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Ooh.
My pronouns are he, him.
So she, her.
My question is,
Kidding.
so I have ADHD, and one of the biggest things I suffer from or deal with is hyperfixation and just not being able to absorb information well. And this has been a struggle with some of my friends where when I'm trying to have a conversation with them or they're trying to have a conversation with me, there are parts when I just, find myself losing focus or I'm tuning out and I feel bad because I have to constantly ask my friends to repeat what they said, and I know some of them are getting frustrated with me. Now, I don't really want to use it as a crux or an excuse to, explain why that's happening. I've been trying to explain to them, like, I'm sorry, it just happens. I can't. I'm trying to do better with it, and I have steps I go through to try and prevent that from happening, and I'm just currently taking medication for it. But yeah, if you guys know any tips or tricks to staying focused or just, being able to just being aware of what's going on around you, that would be awesome. Sincerely from, huh? What?
Um, I feel like, okay, so full disclosure, I probably have ADHD, but I'm really afraid to get diagnosed. It just doesn't speak to me. When I was a kid, they tried to diagnose me with some sort of a attention deficit disorder or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And I remember my mom being like, this is back when they were putting everyone on Ritalin. And like there was this fear that like you would have like a Ritalin zombie child. So my mom was like, I just don't want my son on Ritalin. So we'll just deal with it. And that's just what I did. And ever since then, I've just kind of not wanted to know if I have ADHD or ADD. I just don't want to know, because I guess in my mind I'm like I figured we just talked about this earlier on the phone.
Last night.
I'm like I've if I do have it, I figured it out. I got a system that's working for me, and I'm cooking, But it's really amazing that you're getting the medicine that you need, and I don't think asking what someone's saying, I don't think is that big of a deal.
What do you mean? Asking what would you say?
Yeah, if your friends are getting that annoyed, like that just seems
I can see
wild.
I see how it could be a thing. Like if it's like if it happens multiple times, or like we're hanging out for an hour, and it's like every time like the group is talking, you're like what again?
Patty does that all the time.
Yeah, and and I'd be like Patty.
I mean, sometimes we'll give him. So there's this thing. Patty's our friend who's like it's usually because Patty's on his phone. Like
he's on his phone.
We'll all just be talking, and we'll be like 10 minutes into the conversation, like 3 conversations down the line, and then we'll look at Patty, and Patty will be like,
"What?
Huh? What?" And we just kind of go, "Oh," we'll go, "Patty, come on!"
Like,
but then we'll just move. But we're not like we're not annoyed. I mean, we're like a little like that's a little like hair annoying, but like we still love Patty. We still want to hang out with Patty. I mean. I think that there might be a chance that you probably think is more annoying than they think it is. I mean, I think it's just like a charming, quirky thing that Patty does. Patty's on his phone, he's not paying attention.
I think that I'm happy that you are getting medical, because I have a few friends who not recently, but in the past 2 or 3 years have been diagnosed with ADHD, and them taking the medicine has really, really, really improved their quality of life, about how they feel about themselves and being able to focus more. So I said that to say the medication will definitely help you feel better about maybe interacting with your friends more, getting shit done at work or leisurely, whatever you're struggling to focus on. So the medicine really, well, in my friends, it really has helped them. It really has improved their functionality 100%. So that is the plus side of getting medicated and taking medicine.
What do you think about the advice with the friends and like feeling bad about it?
I don't think you need to feel bad. I agree, Bob. I think that you may be seeing it more, like because you're committing the act of not focusing, and them having to look at you like, girl, you're probably way more sensitive about it. You're probably way more sensitive about it, and it's probably not as big of a deal to them. And I'm sure if it was that crazy, I mean, I don't know how close you are to your friends, but I assume you would have had a conversation about it, or someone would be like, Jeffrey, I mean, what? Listen, we need to talk. Like, this is really fucking annoying to keep on. I'm sure that would have had to happen by now if this has been going on, a pattern of behavior for a long time.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends who have like interesting quirks and that maybe could technically be considered annoying, but I find it charming, and it's what I love about my friends. You know,
do you want to name some charming quirks that I have that you like?
Yeah, you can be a bit hyperbolic.
Anything that's charming?
I think these. I'm naming the charming things.
Okay.
You are you are selectively confrontational. I've learned in life that whenever I watch Monet interact with everyone else, I am the only person Monet is this confrontational with.
It's not true.
Who else are you confrontational with?
Arcia, Dawn.
Oh, the black people.
My oldest friends.
Oh, the black ones. So Monet is selectively nice to white people.
Well, I just have way more black friends than you do. That's what it is.
And what is that based on?
You brought in color.
What is that based on?
You brought in color.
I'm just saying you're just nice to all the white people.
You brought in
Bunny, Patty, you're like so sweet to them. Andy.
One of my two of them. One is my employee. One is my coworker, and the other one is
I'm
my
your coworker.
And also, but my coworker,
I'm your coworker.
I treat my coworkers how they treat me.
I'm just I'm your coworker.
Bunny leads with grace, and I give her grace back.
Bunny, the queen of grace. All right. Hi, Monét and Bob. I am 23 years old. I'm a 23-year-old gay man, and a lot of the humor my friend group uses can be mean and shady. We're just always kind of reading and dragging each other. While it may seem wild to other people, it's all just fun, and we enjoy it. Unfortunately, I, like Utica, and every time I try to be shady or read somebody, I end up being mean and hurting their feelings. How do I keep up with my fellow shady gays? And still keep it funny and light. Sincerely, a bad comedian. That's why your mama dead as hell.
Nick Smith. Nick Smith is submitting to the podcast now.
Girl, you really ate that food fast as hell, like your dad ass mama ate herself to death.
But honestly, I have experienced a friend that kind of not recently, not in the past couple of years, but back in college, we had a friend who would oftentimes just really pushing the edge. We were like, "Damn, Alex." Calm down, girl. So we just know that that's that friend. I mean, maybe you can do a better job of filtering yourself and not saying the worst possible thing you could think of, and just try to like just reel it back. If you're gonna say that's why you a fat bitch, and be like maybe you stop eating so many pancakes. I don't know. Just that's gotta be too. But just try not to go with the worst read you can think of. Try if your inclination is to go to the worst thing. Know that and be like, okay, what's something just a little less severe than that? And just try doing that. Maybe that's a good lead in. Don't think of the worst thing. That's why you a stupid fat bitch. That's why
you had that miscarriage last week.
Yeah, don't go to the worst case scenario.
Yeah, we all know that person. I had a run-in with a drag friend, like a drag friend of mine recently who really, like, my feelings were hurt. She said something and I was like, oh my God, my feelings are really hurt right now.
I was thinking with that scenario because everyone knows Bob is obviously very funny, and it was her attempt to try to meet Bob at his funny level and try to be as funny as Bob and to like volley with him, but it just went too far.
But I wasn't reading her.
I know, but
like I was just walking across. I just walked across the room, and then she was like, "Damn, bitch, you look pregnant." And I was like,
she's trying to meet you because you're so funny.
I was like, oh my God. She's like, are you with a child? I keep looking at you thinking like, are you pregnant or something?
My God.
That is what happened.
I know.
Why you saying, oh my God, to me? Bitch, I'm just saying what happened to me. You ain't like I'm doing something crazy. And my feelings were hurt. And I was like, that I texted her. I said, that shit hurt my feelings. I was like, that shit hurt. But it's something. I don't know if your friends are doing that to you. Yeah, I think you take Monet's advice. Maybe, honestly, maybe the joke, maybe the yucks aren't for you. We all have that one friend who just doesn't do a lot of that. Like everyone doesn't have to be reading the whole time. Everyone doesn't need to be reading.
That's a very gay thing. The gay men love doing it. That is our friend circle. We get together and we're all cracking jokes and reading each other.
Yeah, but I mean, so in our friend circle, usually don't get Mateo gets his feelings hurt sometimes. Mateo does cry sometimes.
Mateo does not cry.
Mateo fully cries. Jacob has been there. Mateo cried because Nick wouldn't hug him one time after leaving our house after arguing over Smash Brothers.
Oh my God!
You've never seen Mateo cry?
No.
Mateo cried because he got into an argument with Bob, and Bob said Mateo was being misogynist when Mateo said he didn't like Madonna. Mateo cried because Nick wouldn't hug him. Mateo cried because in Fortnite, I knocked down a building that he built.
Oh, yeah, that's right. One time, Mateo built a ramp to the sky.
A ramp to the sky?
A ramp. It's just a ramp in Fortnite. In Fortnite. And then, so what happened was Jacob was building, and then Mateo accidentally chopped down Jacob's ramp, and then you fall and you break your legs, and then someone has to come heal you, and then you like lose a lot of life. So Mateo was like, I'm so sorry. And then we were all like making jokes about how he almost killed Jacob. But then Mateo starts building a ramp, and then Mateo gets, really high up there. We were going to do the sky bridge. And then Jacob just starts hacking away at this fucking ramp. And then Mateo, but the way the bridges fall, the way that the structures collapse in Fortnite is it goes piece by piece. So you can see it slow, like clack, 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 like the bottom piece and the next piece. And then Mateo has no clue. So we're all on the ground, like laughing our asses off because we can see the bridge collapsing behind Mateo. And then Mateo's just talking. And then all of a sudden the bridge disappears from beneath him. He falls to the ground. And we are dying.
Of course you are.
We are dying laughing. And Jacob was like, I got you back or something. And then Mateo started crying.
Oh no, that is so mean. Mateo is such a sweet, sweet soul.
Oh, that was so good.
Anyway, so that is an insight into our friend group. That is how toxic our friend group is. You see that? So maybe you're just the girl that cannot be in the jokes. So maybe you should just be an audience member. You can just be an audience member, not necessarily a participant.
Yeah, maybe. Here you go.
Hi, Monét and Bob. I work as a lead supervisor at a dining hall at my college, and I've been told I can be very mean or rude to some of the students that come in. The other supervisors constantly ask me to use soft language when speaking with difficult students that do not listen to what I have to say. I'm Latin, and I try
Latine.
Latine?
Yeah.
Oh. I am Latine, and I try my best, but sometimes these white people really become entitled when speaking to me, and my instant reaction is to be on the defense. Have you ever felt this way at a job? How do I utilize soft language when I think people don't take me seriously because of my race? Sincerely, Indoor Voices. Wow. I went first last.
This kind of in this moment reminds me of this Will Smith scenario. Which is, even if someone does you wrong, it does not give you the right to do them wrong back. So if you're at work, especially if you're at work, this is just from someone who's worked in customer service for years. If the customers are getting wild with you, you just kind of have to be nice. Like, you just kind of can't be mean. I mean, you can, but then you have to just run the risk of like possibly having that jeopardize your professional standing, your place at the workplace. And that's a pretty tough one, I mean, I think that you can stand up for yourself without being mean. You can say, hey, that felt like a microaggression, I don't want you, like, just because I'm Latina does not mean you need to call me spicy. I'm not spicy. Okay. That's something you would only say to someone who's Latina. Why would you say that to me? I had a situation a while back where this guy came up to me at a meet and greet, and he was like, oh, you just speak so well. And that triggers me as a black person. I'm just like, I do not like that compliment. That's not a fucking compliment. He said, you speak English so well, or something like that. Like, I was like, you speak well or something. And I was like, well, okay, thank you. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that just feels like a compliment that only black people get. Mm-hmm. He's just so well spoken. Mm-hmm. Like, why wouldn't I fucking speak well? I've been speaking English my whole fucking life.
When I hear that, I think of The Color Purple when the lady's talking to Sophia's kids.
Your children are so clean.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why wouldn't I speak well? Bitch, of course I fucking speak well. That is only something. He was like, no, I don't mean like that. And I think I said that sounds, and I think what I actually said was, that feels like a microaggression. That feels like a compliment that only black people get. You speak well. Like, why would you compliment me on my grasp on the English language when it's the only language I speak? And it's the only language I've been speaking for 30 some odd years now. Mm-hmm. Did you go, when you went to Alaska, you tell her that she speaks well? When you went to Bianca, would you tell her how well spoken she was? And that was my way of doing without being, spicy or mean. But some people might say that was mean though. Who knows?
I toggle with the soft language part because I'm like, I guess some language can be meaner than others that would make it hard language. But I'm like, bitch, how you talk is how you talk. Now you are at work, so that is different. You kind of have to meet the standards of what that is at work. So I get that part of it. But and then there is the race aspect of it, where I used to work at when I worked at the fucking Holiday Inn at JFK. There was this I was part of the front desk staff, and there was at hotels you have regular guests that come pretty often, and anytime a regular guest would come and they would book a certain type of room, and I would have to be the one like, hey, well, you booked this room and we don't, and the hotel will be sold out, and then they would always. It was a bunch of people of color. It was 2 Latin girls, an Asian dude, myself, and a white girl named Carolyn. And anytime we didn't offer them what they wanted, they would always speak to Carolyn because like Carolyn was a savior. Carolyn like, bitch, Carolyn is looking at the same POS, and Carolyn cannot get this room because we are oversold on twins, sir. So you're gonna get this room. But they're always like, and I would try my best to not get crazy and not get hyphy, your favorite word. Because
my favorite just is a word.
But they would always like Carolyn was like the white speaker at the desk, and she could make all their problems go away because the people of color couldn't help them fix their problems. So I do get that dynamic of being a person of color working in an environment and like the white people are the ones who can get things done or are the standard of how to behave. But working at a college is weird. The soft language, again, I'm lucky. We're lucky to be in jobs, but bitch, we speak how we speak. We don't.
We've had jobs where we have to.
Right, that's what this was.
Language,
yeah. So I get that, and it is hard to navigate that, and because you want to speak how you do, and you don't want to, and you don't want to feel like these kids are making you feel disgruntled in the workplace. So I mean, I agree with what Bob said, and I think there's a happy medium of finding to what soft language is and to how you naturally speak. I think there's a happy medium. I don't feel you need to bend your will completely to be soft and to coddle, maybe the wrong word, these kids. And there's a happy medium of finding what the soft language is and how you want to address it, how you want to present yourself. That is still professional at work.
There was a trend on TikTok a while where everyone was presenting their customer service voices.
Yeah.
Can I hear yours? I'm tipping up to the desk at Best Western or Yale Club.
Hey, Mr. Caldwell, how are you?
I'm good. Can I get I need a wake up call.
Wake up call. What time would you like your wake up call?
6:30.
6:30 a.m. p.m.
a.m. It's a wake up call.
Yeah, but Mr. Caldwell, you normally have your meetings at what, 9? So I don't know if you.
Well, I won't be asleep before
at 9 p.m. So I don't know if you.
I won't be asleep at 9 p.m.
But it's 10 a.m. So it's 6:30 tomorrow morning.
No, this morning. Can you go back and do it this morning?
Sure, Mr. Caldwell. I will do that. Let me guess. You want to talk to Carolyn? Maybe Carolyn can set it for you.
You're gonna go back in time. Can you please make my wake up call for 6:30 tomorrow morning?
Okay.
Because I don't want to miss my flight.
Will do. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kevin.
It's actually pronounced Kevin.
Kevin.
Thank you. There's an accent. You thought you know that. You're so smart.
All right. Hey, guys. I want to welcome you all to the Jekyll and Hyde Club. My name is Caldwell. I'm going to be your waiter today. You guys ever been here before?
No, I've never been here.
Okay, well, right now you're in the Grand Salon.
Oh, my God, Jacob.
Right now you're in the Grand Salon. This is our first floor. Just so you know, now this is New York City. Things can get very expensive in New York City. And we don't have free refills. But if you buy one of these special cups, you will get free refills. It's just $3. So I'm just gonna leave it here. If you want it, it's a nice souvenir to take home. You get one for the kids. You can actually share it. If you get one, I'll let you all get free refills.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, absolutely.
All of us can get free refills.
If you buy one of the cups.
On liquor too?
No, no, you can't get it on liquor. But we do have great prices for Manhattan. For Manhattan.
You're speaking a little loud. You wanna?
I know it's the stuff's here. The stuff is. I'm sorry. It's going to be it's a very loud restaurant. It's a themed restaurant. So lots happening. A lot of bing bang boom going back and forth. So let me get you a drink. What can I get you to drink? Excuse me. What can I get you to drink?
Oh, I want a Sprite.
A Sprite? Okay.
Actually, I want ginger ale.
Ginger ale. Did you want the cup?
No.
Okay, that's cool. Ginger ale. And how about you? What can I get you to drink?
Hi. So, do you have any blood orange margaritas?
Yeah, we do. We carry the absolute blood orange.
Great. Can I have that made with the tequila though? Do you have Patron?
So do you want
I would like a blood orange margarita with Patron.
Why'd you make a margarita with vodka? Like,
I misheard you. I'm sorry. I apologize. I misheard you. We have a blood orange.
He doesn't know what he's
vodka.
talking about. He doesn't know how to make a fucking margarita.
I apologize. We have a blood orange vodka, and then we have a Mandarin Patron.
That's why we should have went to
I would like a blood orange margarita made with Patron.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, let me get it for you all. Look at the menu. You can look at the appetizer. I'll be right back. All right.
Yeah, that's why I told you we should have went to Dallas BBQ. Like these niggas ain't even drinks. Like this nigga just asked
the worst birthday ever.
Right. This nigga just asked to make a margarita with vodka. Like the fuck. Like we don't go here.
What do you think of my customer service voice?
It's good. It's not just like your voice. It's just a little perkier.
Yeah. Hey guys.
Bob the drag queen is not that perky.
No. I'm like, hey.
But that's not true. In Aspen, I was like, I thought someone gave you some aspirin in Aspen because you were at the like, whoa.
Where?
What's your meet and greet voice?
My meet and greet? I'm actually I try to keep the energy a little low at meet and greets because I can't maintain
that
this
whole
level
time.
of like.
Yeah.
Some of the people do like this. I'll do a meet and greet. Right?
So confirmed, you're giving low energy to your fans.
No, this is me at a meet and greet. Hey, how are you? I see them and I try to find something I want to compliment. Hey, welcome. I love this necklace. This is a nice necklace.
It's like how you're talking to a dog. They're trying to get to trust
Yeah.
you.
Hey,
No, and I tell you, in Aspen, you were very perky.
was I?
Yes, you were very happy.
That sounds fierce.
I was very happy for that.
Do you remember?
What? Oh God. What in Aspen? What?
What was Aspen I was just thinking about? I was thinking about Sibling Riverly and all of it. All those.
Oh my! It was 2. Here she goes. All those. It was 2.
It was a little more than 2.
It was 2.
The only reason I know it's a little more than 2 is because I screen saved them and I have them all.
You're so fucking messy.
And I remember the moment because I was like, first of all, Monet and Patty are hood. Let me say, Patty is country as hell. Patty is from Mississippi, and the Mississippi River jumped out, and the fucking East River did too. So Patty and Monet, there's like people between them, and Patty and Monet are like, what you gonna order? Like over their head. Did you order the chicken tenders?
That is not
and
true.
Patty's like, yeah, girl, I got the chicken. And like, I mean, literally, I was like, what in the third shift Dwayne Reed is going on at
That
Sibling?
is not what
I
happened.
promise y'all, because me and Kennedy were like, oh,
How people live like this?
so y'all know when they got exploding foot.
Oh my God.
So Monet took his shoes off, but this white girl came up to the booth. But Monet's feet were hurting. So this girl came up and she was so excited. But Monet just like, and then she went, and then Monet just walked away, but she went to go change her shoes. She changed from the heels to like the Doc Martens, I think. But the girl was just, because she went to Monet first. And Monet just turned around and left.
I did not.
I'm not making this up. And the
I
girl
don't
was
remember
just,
this.
and the girl was just standing there like,
I don't remember this.
and I was like, she's just changing her shoes or something. I don't know, that shit. Ooh, that shit got me together.
Anyway, read the next question.
Hey Bob, hey Bob and Monét, I've been a huge fan of so many rude girls.
Yeah, not just hey Bob. You are something else. You are something else. It says hey Bob and Monét.
Hey Bob and Monet, I've been a huge fan of so many rude girls and local queens, of course, but I never know if it's appropriate to approach anyone, especially in public. I live in LA, so I've seen a lot of queens in passing or at bars, but I kind of go by the if they're at a drag, don't bother them rule. But I usually also don't approach anyone. How do you guys feel about fans approaching you? And also, how can we be better fans to you and other queens? Thanks in advance. Sincerely, Ray's Chaser. Woohoo!
This is a great question. Thanks for asking that, honestly. When I'm out, I don't mind someone coming and saying hey, but it's 2 times when it bothers me. When like they see you talking or having a full conversation with something else, and they feel like they can co-opt.
Sorry to interrupt you. I don't want to interrupt you.
That drives me insane. And
You
then
do.
sometimes they do touch your body, or they like touch your shoulder, or they're trying to. I'm talking to someone like that. That's just rude. Not just because I'm a draggers girl or celebrity wants to have me. That's just rude. That, or if you're watching a show and you're like literally watching a show, this bitch is performing lip syncing, you're trying to tip, and they're like, oh my god. It's like I'm watching the show, and then you're disrespecting fucking Cornbread doing her number, and it's like it's so fucking mean. And then also the third thing is that when you take too much of their time. Well, yes, she's had it in person, but then bitch, they want to talk to you about every runway you did on season 10. What is really the drama with you and Tamisha? Oh my god, it's like be respectful of that person's time, because they are saying hi or whatever, but it's just not like
They're usurping your time.
yeah. So those are the 3 instances where it becomes a cool. But I don't mind. I love when people come up and say hi.
So what's the perfect approach? What's the perfect fan interaction with Monet? We're at the nightclub. The show's going on. Cornbread just got off stage,
Mhm.
and this is like the 1 minute moment where like Gigi is announcing the next girl.
Oh my God, Monet, I just want to say I just love you so much. You were so good on season 10. You are the only winner of All Stars 4. I love you so much, and it's so good to see you. Good to see you, babe. What's your name?
Craig.
Nice to meet you, Craig. Mwah, mwah. Enjoy the show, right? Okay, cool.
Not the Droplets.
I do air kisses.
No, I'm just messing with.
That's to me, that's good. And then, but then if I start leaving content like, oh my God, really? You didn't? Then that's different, you know?
Have you ever snapped on a fan?
I've never snapped.
I snapped one time.
When?
Okay, so I recently had this interaction. I didn't snap this time, but I went to the saloon in Minneapolis recently, like a couple of days ago, actually. And when I got there, this guy came up to me. This guy came up to me. I was in the middle of a conversation with this really lovely lady that I met. Actually, she's the head of security at Saloon. Shout out to her. I can't remember her name, but shout out to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to her, and this guy comes up and goes, I don't want to interrupt. And I'm like, I hate to see if you wanted to, because you didn't even want to when you did it. I don't want to interrupt. And I was like, hi. And he goes, can I get a picture? And I said, yeah, sure. And he goes, you don't look excited.
I hate that.
And I said, well, I'm not as excited as you are. I think you're probably more excited than I am. And he was like, and I was like, do you want a picture? And he was like, yeah, I guess.
No, bitch, I don't.
But it was weird because I just said, sure. And he goes, you don't look excited. And he had like one of those voices, like a voice that a straight guy would make fun of gay guys for. Like, hi.
Uh-huh.
The only time I ever snapped on someone was one time I was in
I did snap with someone, I'll tell you.
I was in Toronto,
mm-hmm.
and I was watching Jada Hudson, this queen I love.
This was on Survivor Tour.
Were you there for this?
I wasn't there, but I remember you telling me about it when you came back to the bus.
I was watching Jada Hudson. I was in the first row.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could put my feet on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
That's how close I was. And this guy came up and he was like, "Oh my God, can I please get a picture?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely." And then he goes, "I don't want to bother you." I said, "No, it's fine. You can get a picture. Just have a seat right here." He goes, "No, I don't want to bother you." And I said, "No, it's okay. Like, by the way, the show is going on. She's doing a number right here." He has like 2 or 3 friends with him. And I'm like, "No, it's okay. Really, have a seat." And he's like, "No, I feel like I'm bothering you now." And I was like, "No, just sit down. Like, the show's going on." And he was like, "You know what? I just feel, I don't, are you sure?" And then something in me, and I said, "Sit down." I slapped the chair and I said, "Sit down. Sit down." And he sat down and we took a picture. I want to see that picture so bad. Bitch, I want to see that picture so bad. Like, how was he looking? How was I looking? Sit. I slapped. My hand was hurting.
It's giving me Iana Venzel.
Not on my watch. I was like, sit. But it was wild. And sometimes I remember some of myself, you really cannot. It's not easy to communicate with a drunk person.
Oh, yeah, it's not, girl.
It's really not easy. So my favorite interaction is if you're standing nearby and you're like, they're talking, if there is a break, you say, "I just want to quickly say I really appreciate your work.
I love that.
I really love what you did on We're Here. Mm-hmm. I love you changing Eureka. I listen to Survivor all the time. Do you mind if we get a quick picture?" And then, I mean, I don't love always doing the picture, but if someone asks like that, I'll go, "Yeah, sure." And we'll do a quick picture. And then they go, "Thank you so much." And then leave. That's my favorite.
Love that.
I mean, honestly, the no picture is the ultimate. Because if you're, the reason why is if you're in a nightclub and a couple people like kind of want to take a picture, and then the one person does it, then everyone's like, and then you look up, and then next thing you know, you're at a meet and greet.
And also sometimes you say no to a picture, and people get offended. It was like, it's not always about you, bitch. I don't feel like I look my best. I may have a pimple. Like, there's just reasons I may not want to take a picture.
Or you don't want to.
I just want to take a picture.
One time it was 6:30 in the morning. It was even early. It was like 5 something in the morning at the airport. Someone asked me for a picture.
I never took them to the airport.
And I was like,
I'm not trying to take them.
Y'all don't understand. Like, when we in the mornings, we do a show at like whatever o'clock at night, and then we get to bed at like midnight, and then wake up at like 5 in the morning, and then you at the airport, and you're like, have all your face is swollen, and someone's like, "Are you Bob the drag queen?" And I'm like,
especially this bitch in the mornings,
and I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Can we get a picture?" I'm like, I just got to be honest, I don't feel particularly beautiful right now. And they go, "You are beautiful." No. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not feeling it. So I'm gonna say no to this one. But I genuinely appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
And the sentiment is not lost on me.
You love saying that. The one time I snapped, Andy and I were at last. Then we get to the next question. Andy and I were at Evita, and then I just performed inside. And
This is the last question.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
Oh, Andy and I were at Evita, and then I came outside because it was so hot. I just did a number at Evita, so Andy and I just talking and blah, blah, blah. And then people are walking by, whatever, right? And this girl comes. Andy and I, you're Andy, and this is Monet, and she just goes. So then I look at her, I was like, "What are you doing?" She goes, I was like, "You were just taking a picture of me or a video." And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Why?" And she was like, I was like, "That's so rude." I was like, don't ever do that to anyone. I was like, that was really rude. And she just walked away didn't say a word, girl. And then she came back and stood there while me and Andy were talking. It was so strange.
What? Maybe she was a fan of Andy. Maybe it didn't have nothing to do with you.
Maybe
it's like niggas that drive buses. One time years ago, we were at I was probably just in my feelings this one day, and we were at the meet and greet, and this guy came up to the meet and greet with two. I think I've posted on the podcast before, with 2 bouquets of roses.
Oh yes.
And he said, he had a single rose. I can't remember. It was either 2 bouquets of roses or like a single rose and a bouquet. I can't quite remember.
Mm-hmm.
But he gave me whatever the shittier of the 2. He goes, "This is for the girl that won." And then he turned him on to Naomi and goes, "And this is for the girl that should have won."
Word.
And then he turned his back to me, like I'm there. And then he posed and he was like,
"Word."
And I think all I did was I think I jokingly threw the flowers over like the meet and greet. I threw the flowers over the entire meet and greet.
Word.
And one time.
What?
One time on Work the World, a drag queen.
What?
It's not my tea.
Tell it. Is it me?
No.
Okay. Oh, then tell it. Who cares?
One time on Work the World, the queens are in pairs.
Yeah.
So at the meet and greet, so like me and Monet would do the meet and
It
greet.
was like in 4 pairs of 2, and so you make your way down the line.
Yeah. So you do a picture with me and Monet, then a picture with Violet and Got Mick, and then a picture with like Cameron and
Vanjie.
and Vanjie. So there were these 2 girls together, and every once in a while, it does not happen often. Every once in a while, one fan will be so bold as to be like, "Can I get a picture with just Monet?" This does not happen very often.
Mm-hmm.
Now, usually if that happens with me, I'll just go, I don't care. Like,
yeah, who cares? But because these people have paid $250 to meet and they get to meet their favorite queen, and sometimes they idolize some of us more. They have favorites like that. Bitch, if I spend my $250, I want the person I really want to take the picture with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me either.
It bothered this one queen.
It does.
You know the queen.
Uh-huh.
And when I tell you she stormed out of that meet and greet and let that fan have it.
Oh, should the fan have it?
Well, because she was like, "Can I get a picture with just this girl?" And then she was like, "Oh, you know what? You can get all your pictures with just," like, it was something like that. And then, or maybe she's like, I don't know. It was we were all. I was way down the line, so I just saw her just storming off. We were like, "Where does she go?" We were like, I can't even read. There's no way I can read that. I was like, "Where does she go? What is going on?"
Uh-huh.
But yeah, the girls get wild
I
during the
know.
meet and greets, girl.
Literally me tonight being kicked out of meet and greet by my sister. Bye, pumpkin. Oh.
Yeah, she posted about it. Oh, that's right, because the other girl did jokingly. I don't know if it was, I can't vouch for if it was a joke or not. It seemed joking. She did this to her.
Oh yes, and she was mad. Yeah, I remember.
That was what it was, because she could, "Can I get a picture with just her?" And the girl who got the picture request went. That's also one of them. Like, if that set you off, someone cannot be friends with me. Like, I feel like they could not survive a friendship like what we have. Like, I see people who like are like, it was Bosco who's like, "I just don't like to argue with my friends." I was like, "Bitch, you could never be my friend." Bitch, you would not stand a second in a friendship with me. I'm very happy that we're doing our podcast together.
Me too.
And wait, we didn't change clothes today. Not outfit repeaters.
This was days after our last
Yeah, we just
episode.
wanted to wear
We just haven't showered.
Yeah.
We just been wearing the same clothes
Like a real funky.
in the same spot for days.
Same freckle. Right.
Talking about the Oscars again.
Because it's still a hot. That is wild. All right, we gotta go.
All right, Bob. You have a good rest of your week, and I'll talk to you soon.
Is that your customer service voice?
Deuces. Yes. All right.